Cheers guys and cheers girls. I hope that all of you are doing really well, and don't forget to press the like button and the notification bell please, because recently YouTube hasn't been distributing my videos to a lot of people. Alright, so recently I've made a video about how to not mess up your first date with her, which I am a bit of an expert in, being a woman. But right now I thought I need to make the other video, the complimentary one, about how to not mess up your first date, or your first dates rather, with him. So a little bit less of an expert on that, but do certainly have some understanding of basic psychology and opinions. Let's start with the basics, girls. Let's start with the dress code. Right now we live at a time which tells us undress. And there's a lot of you that are gorgeous, that are stunning, that are killing yourselves at the gym, and you find yourself going around in a society which before would show off the leg to the ankle, and then show off the leg to the knee, and then show off almost all of the leg, and right now we're showing off the butt as well, and wearing crop tops. Don't do what everyone else does. What you want is, you want to stand out. You want to be different from the crowd. You don't want to be following them. So how do you do that? Does it mean you don't get to show off your killer body? You do, but not all at once. Take it slowly. Choose one thing. Maybe today is going to be the cleavage. Maybe today you're going to wear a short skirt. Maybe this is just something tight, some tight clothes that are showing off your shape. Don't show off everything all at once. Show off one thing. And next time you can show off a different thing. Leave a few things to the imagination. Believe me when I tell you that men like that better. It draws attention better than you think. Consider, have you ever been to one of these European beaches where a lot of women don't wear tops and just show off their breasts? And do you see everybody gawking at them? No, they're not. Nobody is really looking at them. This is completely normalized for us. And when you see a woman like that at the beach, you don't react to her. But if you go to the promenade right next to the beach and you see an attractive woman walking in a wet t-shirt, everybody's going to check that out. If you go to the promenade again and you see a woman with some kind of interesting messed up hair, long cleavage, with a swimsuit underneath, again, everybody's going to be looking at that, because it's more interesting, because it's at the same time provocative, and there's an element of mystery to it. And there's something you weren't supposed to see also, isn't there? All right, so moving on from that, let's move on to the next thing. I want you girls to be very, very clever. I know a lot of you really want to find a partner. A lot of you really want to find a relationship, but you can't just go there, find some guy who's very attractive, speak almost the whole time, project all kinds of positive qualities onto him because he is responding positively to you speaking the whole time, and then assume that you really, really like this person. Be careful with that. Go in there being very skeptical, and go in there being very clever. Say, what if this is a guy who has a couple of girls on the sideline? What if they actually think that he really likes them, he really wants them, and they're either having or are about to have a relationship with him, and he is just using them? What if this is the kind of guy that has addictions, the kind of guy that has debts, the kind of guy who has cheated on his partners before? Is he really going to come to this date and not put his best foot forward? Is he going to be forthcoming and just tell me all of that? No, he's not. He is going to be wearing a mask. He's going to be telling me the things that I want to hear, but I'm the one that has to be smart, and I'm the one that has to be clever, and I'm the one who has to make sure that she's not talking the whole time. The man is partially there for your emotions. Men love your emotions when they're positive, granted, because you are a lot more emotional than they are. You have these strong feelings. You are a lot more sensitive and a lot more expressive than most men. Use that to your advantage. Encourage him with this positive feedback loop, these positive emotions, and these positive mirroring techniques to start gently and at a reasonable pace, if this is a first or second date, to start opening up to you and telling about his past, where he worked, who he has interacted with. Your job right now, the date, is to encourage him, to give him positive feedback, to show him that you're fascinated, you're engaged, this is really interesting to you. Then when you go home, you will recap the conversation and you will analyze what he actually said to you and how he actually said it to you. And then you will ask yourself, is this really the kind of guy that I like? Is this really the kind of guy that I want? Also, really watch out for a person that goes in there and starts love bombing you and starts telling you immediately after having only met you a couple times in his life that he fell in love with you at first sight. He knew that you're the one at first sight. You are the most beautiful woman he has ever seen in his life. Nobody has ever made him feel that way. He loves you. I know that girls, we tend to be a bit competitive against other women. I know we like to assert ourselves. I know there's the streak in us that says, I want to be the best. Do not fall for it. No, you don't. First of all, you don't want to base your relationship, your potential future relationship, on your bestness. What kind of foundation is that? He really, really loves me because I'm the best? What happens one day when I'm not the best, even if it's for a little while? What happens one day when I'm not showing up perfectly? You're letting him manipulate you in the future, and that's assuming that he even wants a relationship with you, because if these are the kind of things he's telling you, more likely than not, he's already manipulating you too quickly, and then in the short run, just extract resources from you, more likely than not sexual resources, but also potentially money and other resources. So be very careful about that and be very skeptical. Yes, of course you're looking for somebody who values you, who sees you, who thinks that you're beautiful, that you're attractive, who eventually will tell you that he's never felt for anybody else that way. But if it happens too soon, men can fall into desire right away. Men can fall into lust right away. They don't fall into love right away. But what about soulmates? What about these spiritual recognitions? I do believe in them. I do believe that that happens. But here's the thing. Even when that is what is taking place, it takes some time for us to later look back on the encounter and realize that that is what took place. We don't realize it right away in the moment. The only thing that we can realize right away in the moment is that we feel desire and we feel attraction. And that is not enough foundation for you to start building emotional and physical intimacy on. You need to dive a lot deeper than that. All right, so here's another thing that I want to mention, girls. Most desirable men, most masculine men, most guys have encountered this dichotomy in their life where they either meet the nice girl that doesn't evoke desire and passion in them, or they meet the girl who they have a lot of chemistry with, who is fun, who evokes that kind of desire and passion from them, but just is not a good person. And so they're constantly looking for somebody who can embody the two at the same time. And even though some of them don't know it, there's an evaluation process that they use for this rare kind of woman. And the evaluation process says, I'm going to look in the nice girl category, but I'm going to look for a nice girl with standards, with boundaries, with judgment, capable of telling me no, capable of rejecting me. And why are they doing that? Because in the nice girl category, most of the nice girls are simply girls who adopted niceness as a relational style. They don't have true kindness because true kindness comes from strength, and because they have it as a relational style, they are actually weak. Those that have it from strength will be able to both be nice and to not close the gap, to understand that it is his job to convince you. It is his job to prove to you. It is his job to close that gap. And it is your job to reward him when it pleases you, what he is doing and how he is doing that. Now, there's an exception sometimes. Some of us are used to leadership roles. Some of us are used to, among our siblings, we're the leader. In our family, we're the leader. At work, we're the leader. And it's not that we're weak, but we have the habit of closing the gap. If there's a silence, we fill it in. If nobody's taking initiative, we take that initiative. I want you to relax. I want you to sit back, to lay back. And in this moment, on that date, on those dates, you are a woman. You don't need to take charge. You don't want to lead. You're a woman. And that is the only thing that you need to be. Let go of all of that stress. He is the man. He needs to lead. He needs to initiate. He needs to take the actions. He needs to close the gap. And if he's not doing that, well, he doesn't have what it takes to conquer you. And that's that, girls. I know how badly sometimes you want to find love, but you can't fake that something is there when it's not. And trust me, if a man really wants you, really sees something special in you, really cares for you, 9 times out of 10, he's going to close that gap. Even among men that need to be a little bit less feminine, you will almost never find one who didn't close that gap for somebody. Why can't you be that somebody? You should be that somebody. Let him convince you, and make sure with your emotionality, make sure with your words, when he does do a good job of it, to express that, to appreciate him, to reward him, to transmit that to him. And also keep in mind the conversation like 2 years ago I was 2 years younger, now it's been 2 years, and now I'm 2 years older, and in another 2 years I'll be 2 years older again, is not interesting. You want conversation that is a little bit joyous. You want something that is a little bit more engaging, a little bit more fun, possibly something that evokes positive emotions from you, but also that will get him talking, so you're not the only one doing it. All right, cheers, girls. This is just a little intro. I wish you all a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. And guys, bye.